Star-Spangled Banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning, everyone. It's a good day today to be at Eros Cafe at Festival Food in Kenosha County. I have one of my colleagues from Madison, who is a Dane County Veteran Service Officer, drove up this morning to spend the day with us because they're thinking about putting together a Eros Cafe in Madison. But today I just want to explain to you that I'm the County Veteran Service Officer for Kenosha County, Director of Veteran Services, and we have approximately 13,000 veterans in Kenosha County. But today I want to reflect on Veterans Day. What does it really mean to me? It means to people who served in the military and wore the uniform. And I've worn the uniform in the Navy for approximately 29 years, and that's something that I'm extremely proud of, and I don't know of anything better that I could have done than to serve this nation by wearing the uniform that symbolized freedom around the world. But let's talk a little bit about the Eros Cafe, and this is called American Eros Cafe Festival Food in Kenosha. I would like to take a moment to reflect on some of the work that's been done, but I want to kind of walk backward to about 9 years ago when this thing all came about. There were just two wonderful women in our community that saw the idea and see the vision to have something where veterans can come and gather to have donuts and drink coffee. But it evolved to be more than just eating donuts and drinking coffee. It becomes a place of healing where these veterans to come here and talk about some of their experience in the military, experience of war, things that they probably have never talked about before, but because they're around their comrade, it made it so much easier for them to talk about it and explain to other people. And these sometimes are hidden secrets, problems that they deal with, you know, the trauma of wars. And they're able to come here every Friday morning and talk about it. But these two women that started this thing, is the first lady is Sharon Jonetz and the late Mary Domes. Mary Domes passed away in August of this year, and I know she's went on to eternal life with the Lord, but her legacy here continued to live in the lives of many veterans who come to this place, not only to have a donut or drink coffee, but to talk about some of the things that have been bothering them and to get rid of it from the deeper part of their soul. So I just commend them, those two women, for the great job of putting this thing together. And I know that the Kenosha County is so grateful to have this Eros Cafe here in place. And on the behalf of Kenosha County and the county executive, Jim Cruiser, who vision and initiative created Kenosha County Veterans Memorial Park, another place where veterans and their families and the community can gather and have a good time, have a picnic, you know, watch your grandkids run around, fish, walk the park, different things, activity. I am so proud of that park. And I tell you what, I would like to say thank you to the brave men and women who have worn the military uniform, and for those who are still actively serving, they continue to carry the flag that symbolizes freedom around the world. I wish you all a very happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. You are my hero.
Hi, I'm Tom Van Dam, a veteran of World War II, and the Veterans Day kind of helps me to go back in my mind to those days in between 19 43 and 46. I was in the Army 3 years, and most of that time was spent as a cryptographic technician in Europe, England first, and then France and Germany. I was with the headquarters of the United States Strategic Air Forces in Europe, but I was just way down in the ranks there, a PFC until the war was over, and they had room for promotions, so that was good. But one episode stands out in my mind. We had just gotten to England, and we're near London, and we're being kind of briefed for what to expect, and there was this voice, "Flying bomb, take cover," and that was what they called the buzz bombs, and it landed in a church right near us. So that right then I knew that we were in a war, and that was my introduction. But other than that, it was just mostly routine. No startling developments. Oh, there was just one right near the end of the war where there was this Battle of the Bulge, and we were pressed into service there. But otherwise, I was, pretty much immune, because the headquarters was always way back, because it was so big, coordinating the efforts of the 8th, 9th, and 12th in the Air Forces. So, but that was it. One more thing. I was able to attend the Army University Center in Biarritz, France, after the war. They didn't know what to do with us, I guess. And so I was able to take some courses there, and I got college credit for, believe it or not, introduction to American public education, radio announcing, and choral conducting. I had nothing to do with my later major, but it was interesting.
My name is Julius Spanicki, and I'm a Korean War vet, and I was stationed in Japan on the island of Hokkaido, which is the most northern island of the Japanese islands. I was a CW operator, or a radio operator, and anyway, the weather up there in Hokkaido during the winter time was around 50 below zero. Very, very cold place to be. But then after that, I got out of service. I was a draftee and put in my 2 years. And after I got out of service, I joined up with the VFW and American Legion and all of the military organizations. And at the present time, I'm the commander of the Korean War Vets, which are very few of us left in the state of Wisconsin. The last check I looked at, the TAPS, was 161 of them passed already, just this last month. So our ranks are really going. But after that, I hooked up with the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight when we first started, and this is to take our vets to the memorials. And I've been at it now for about 8 years. And this coming November 6th will be our 60th flight out of Milwaukee. And usually there's 100 vets that go on the flight. So if you add that up, that's a lot of vets. And if and when you get a chance to talk to them, like Tom just prior to me, they said, and he never really paid much attention to it until I caught him and gave him an application, and then I said he was going to be on the next flight, which was the 59th and he was surprised that he did get on me, because I got a little drag with the officers of the Stars and Stripes. And I would say to this day, of any vet that hasn't been aboard that flight, there's no cost to the veteran, that he'll remember that the rest of his days.
My name is Vittori. I was born and raised in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And Veterans Day means a lot to myself and thousands of other veterans. My dad was a combat veteran of World War II, and he did 4 years in the military. And he went from Normandy to the Rhine. He fought in 5 major campaigns, and he also relieved a concentration camp in Germany. He never talked much about the war or what happened. As I got older, though, he started to open up more, and he went through some real hell. And after I got out of the service, we were able to communicate with each other real good, and I was having problems, but he knew how to adjust to that, help me out. So, I mean, Veterans Day, there's thousands that have given their lives away, you know, I mean, not giving them away, but have given their life, sacrificed the blood and the sweat that is needed to run a democracy. But we have a saying, we go into the schools because we're part of the curriculum for the school district, and we go in, let's say, at Memorial Day or Veterans Day, I tell them, well, the meaning of the flag, I tell the kids to look at the flag. Okay, the red stripes are for the blood that we shed that made this country free. The white is the color of the bandages before they get to us. The blue is our hearts and minds of the horror of war. And the stars are in our parents and our families' eyes waiting for us to get home. But it means it's a lot of emotional things that are attached to it. And you live with things for years and years. And sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't come out. But it's the horror of war, and there's no other greater horror in this world than having man kill man. Maybe someday we can get along without killing each other. I don't know. But until that happens, we'll still fight for freedom and democracy in this country.
Hello, my name is Charles Sickmiller. I was in the Marine Corps from 1966 to 1969. Veterans Day, it always meant something to me. My father was a World War II veteran, and we lived out in a farm out in South Dakota, so we didn't really celebrate Veterans Day per se as we do in the larger cities, but we always remembered Veterans Day. And I enjoy being a veteran, that people say thank you for your service, and I say it's an honor, not always a pleasure. So yeah, Veterans Day is every day you meet veterans, you can talk to them. I think Heroes Cafe has done a great leap forward just to sit down and talk with other veterans, and I greatly appreciate what they have done. My life in the Marine Corps was not a lot of fun. As a grunt over in Vietnam, spent 13 months basically out in the villages, living with the people out there. We go out with 8 Marines, and we lived in the village. I saw a lot of my friends who never came back alive. I've gone and talked to schools, children in school, and almost every time they ask the question, what was your best day when you were in Vietnam? What was your worst day? And I tell them it was a February 7th, 1968. Tet Offensive was going on, and I was due to rotate back, and so they called me back into headquarters, and he says, the first plane that comes in, you're going to get on, go back home. And I was all excited, but being Tet Offensive and all my friends living out in the villages, early morning we had to go out and drop off ammunition and supplies to these veterans, these soldiers, and so who was available but good old Charlie. So they put me on a truck and I got to sit up on top on the 50 caliber machine gun. And the best place to be because everybody shoots at you. So we went out there, dropped off food and ammunition, and the worst part of that was a lot of my friends had been killed, and we had to load them back in the truck and bring them back to headquarters. And then they called me in, had stripped them down and cleaned them up, and I had to go and identify the bodies. I no more than finished that, and they called me and says, plane's coming in, you're going home. So February 7th, I'll never forget it.
I'm Dick Stater. I'm retired Navy. I've spent 20 plus years in the Navy on 6 different ships and 2 shore stations, my last one being Great Lakes pushing recruits, a good duty. What does Veterans Day mean to me? It's kind of a special day. 20 years in the Navy, I hardly ever heard of Veterans Day. We didn't celebrate nothing like that when all the years I was in the Navy. Not that I remember anyhow. And if you're at sea and working ships like I was on, you didn't celebrate nothing. Just getting done unwrapping or whatever kind of deals what was going on. But Veterans Day to me is a time that I really appreciate, set aside and celebrate being a veteran and celebrate it with other veterans, like the one right over there standing there. He's looking to get a donut out of that box, but there's none in there. But he's talking on the phone. Anyhow, but we have a nice celebration, Veterans Day, Pearl Harbor Day, and Memorial Day. The Navy Club does. And for anybody who might see this, I'd like to say that be at the Civil War Museum on November the 11th at 1100 hours, and you'll enjoy a nice Veterans Day program.
My name is Paul Meyer. I'm the commander of Navy Club Ship 40 in Kenosha. Navy Club Ship 40 is a conglomeration of like-minded individuals to help other veterans locally. And what Veterans Day would mean to me would be, it's a communications opportunity to talk about and be educated on what other veterans have done for freedoms in this country. It offers the ability to maybe learn from some of our mistakes in the past. But Veterans Day in and of itself would be to thank the veterans and men and women all over the world in all the different branches that have sacrificed themselves for the ideal freedoms of this country. It would be an opportunity for others that maybe haven't served, haven't been overseas, haven't seen how life is done in other parts of the world that are far less having the availability of basic freedoms. And we celebrate that, and in our case, it's amongst life members that have come to join in that meeting by the lake. As Mr. Stater had talked about earlier, we are having a Veterans Day ceremony at the Civil War Museum to celebrate some of those values. I would encourage both the local and or people from the surrounding community, if they have interest, please come and see us. And that would be on November 11th at 11 a.m. It's inside, so we're not freezing our biscuits up by the lake, as we have done in the past. And then we also have Pearl Harbor services, December 7th, same location, 11 a.m. Please come and see us.
My name is Dan Connery, and I'm the Dane County Veterans Service Director. And Veterans Day to me is a day to honor and recognize anybody that served our country, anybody that raised their right hand in service, both from World War II era all the way up to present and even before. I think it's important that we recognize and remember and honor everybody that served and the sacrifices that they made, and in doing so also recognizing the family members that sacrifice as well. You know, for example, when someone's been deployed to a combat theater and the spouse is back home taking care of the children. So I think it's just a day of remembrance for those that served, and also to, of course, not forget those that have perished ahead of us.
It is something that we look forward to every single year, the Veterans Day. I do, and I have for several years now. It means an awful lot at Veterans Day, yes. I guess because of the memories that it brings back, and that's what it does. It brings back memories, because so much time of the year is not spent on honoring veterans. And I think this is one time that is duly accountable and should be and is. And that's what I think veterans countrywide should be able to look on Veterans Day as something that I was a part of. And that's why I guess I believe into it. It's been a long time, but it's just an honorable day. I served, of course, in the Navy, in the communications division. I was a Morse code operator. I spent 4 years in Chicago training for the job in 1944, 45, for that job. I spent most of the time in the Philippines. All the time I was there, I never received a message in English. Well, with one exception, that's when the war was over. I received a message in English. It was all coded messages. It would just sit there 4 hours at a time, copying code. Never knew what we were copying. As soon as we copied it, we handed it to the lieutenant behind us, and they decoded it. And we never knew what it was. But I thought it was a very honorable job.
Hello, my name's Lisa Wiedholz. I'm with Heartland ProMedica Home Health Care, Palliative Care, and Hospice. And to me, Veterans Day is just a constant reminder to honor our veterans every day, not just on Veterans Day. So thank you for your service.
Ronald Abrahamson. What does Veterans Day mean to me? It means a getting together and respect for my fellow man, and enjoying life and realizing that I contributed to the country.
Hi, I'm Milt Dean. I served with the 93rd Engineers in Vietnam, and Veterans Day is a very special place, a very special moment for me. For years now, I've done veterans programs at Prairie Lane Elementary School, and unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to do it last year or this year because of the COVID. But I still maintain a lot of relationships with the kids over at the Prairie Lane, and so they understand what Veterans Day really means. I have a daughter at Jeffrey School who's going to be, she set up a caravan this year for veterans to go on November the 10th all around 4 different elementary schools, so children can stand outside and wave flags and show us the respect that we deserve as veterans of our country. And, I'm a very proud veteran, along with my buddy here, Tim, and we very much appreciate what this goes on here with Heroes Cafe. It's a tribute that they give us every week, and we really appreciate it. And, God bless America.
I'm Tim Ovitt. I was a Spec 4 in the 101st Airborne Division, Vietnam. And Veterans Day means a whole lot to me. My father was a World War II veteran. I have a brother that was in the Navy. He's since demised, but for him and for all my family members, I'm just a proud veteran. And like my buddy here, we're both Vietnam vets. He's a little older than me. He was there before me. But we both came home, which is a good thing. And we've lost a lot of buddies. And I'm also a survivor of Hamburger Hill. And we lost a lot of buddies there. But no, it's God bless America. It's the greatest country in the world.
I just want to say how happy I always am when people go out of their way to say thank you for your service.
Yep.
It's very meaningful. It brings tears to my eyes every time when they say it.
I make sure I say it to every veteran I see that I know.
Like I say, I have a daughter now that's following up for me with different veteran stuff that she's doing. So, and I outrank him. I was E5 because I'm older.
There you go.
My name is Brad Bailing. I'm a retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant, serving 25 years, retired in 2015. Veterans Day means to me an honoring of self-sacrifice and freedom that everyone needs to understand exactly what a veteran is. A veteran is somebody who has given their life to the furtherment of freedom in this country, and veterans themselves need to be honored as often as possible. So on this day, make sure you thank a veteran for the freedoms that you have.
I'm Marianne Cardinale. I'm retired from the Air Force. I served 26 years on active duty. And Veterans Day means a lot because I have a lot of friends still that are veterans, and it just means a lot to remember the people who served our country and made a lot of sacrifices. It's not always easy to be in the military. You're away from your family, your friends. You serve your country, and oftentimes you can't talk about what you've done or how you've done it. So it's a time to reflect and to remember what our veterans have gone through. And I know it's only once a year, but you know, oftentimes there are other opportunities to remember veterans and how they've served. And there's many venues now to help veterans, and I would just hope that people take time on Veterans Day to reflect about their family and friends who have served. So I think it's a very important day for our country.
I'm Steve Tindall. I'm a Navy veteran. I was in from 1969 to 1978. Wrote a book about my time in the Navy. Veterans Day is important to me because it's a good opportunity to recognize those who decided to go and sacrifice a part of their life to help keep us safe. We may not all have been in combat, people firing at us or anything, but we all sacrificed something. We were gone from family from extended periods of time. We were in less than comfortable surroundings, paid less than our civilian counterparts. It just, everybody gave something, as the one song gives, and it's important that we remember those sacrifices and honor the men and women who have stepped up, taken the pledge, and done their part to help protect democracies.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Blasi. I'm the Assistant County Veteran Service Officer for Kenosha County. What Veterans Day means to me is an opportunity for the country to celebrate the brave men and women whose dedication and love of country compelled them to sign a blank check to including their lives. As a veteran, it is a chance for the veterans to feel, I guess, their love and the love and dedication of their fellow countrymen. It is a chance to share our experiences with each other, and a chance to experience the camaraderie that we had when we were in the military. I'd like to thank the wonderful people of Festival Foods for hosting this event on a weekly basis. It has brought such joy to the people who come here and the people who who help serve this every week. I really like to thank you, and I wish everybody a happy Veterans Day.
All right, we're there? We're there. All right. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that river highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, and saw below me that golden valley